Recently, genre movie director and writer extraordinaire James Gunn had an Instagram Q&A special live, or I guess an Instagram live Q&A. I don't think you call them specials. Newsflash, I'm on Instagram, but I don't actually use Instagram that much, so I don't know its intricacies as well as people who are on there all the time and they're watching everything. But basically, James Gunn was answering some people's questions on his Instagram account. And I went over some of his responses, many of them as they relate to Suicide Squad 2 or The Suicide Squad that he's editing right now and it's supposed to come out in 2021. And also some stuff pertaining to Guardians of the Galaxy 3 and his relationship or lack thereof after that with Marvel. Because, Guardians of the Galaxy is a Marvel franchise. A very good franchise. I'm not really as into Marvel characters as much as DC, which is why this channel is very DC focused. But I do like and enjoy most of the Marvel movies. But let's get into it. I took some notes on some of his questions and answers and conversations. Not all of them, but the ones I thought were the most important for this video. So let's get into them. He did say one of his earlier questions or answers is, someone asked him what his relationship with Marvel would be after Guardians 3, and he said he didn't have any plans to return to Marvel after Guardians of the Galaxy 3. As you know, you probably know, he did the first two Guardians, he's going to do the third, and it's fitting because James Gunn's voice and his artistic stuff is very crucial to what made those movies what they were and why they're successful. I think it'd be very difficult for another director to come in and finish the Guardians trilogy who isn't James Gunn. But there were rumors that he was wanted by Marvel to stay after Guardians 3 and help them shape, Marvel Cosmic or do more stuff. But he's saying, at least as of now, there's no plans. Now, we'll see, we'll see what happens. I mean, things can change, and he could just be saying this to, fans. It could be that he doesn't want people to know that he's going to continue with Marvel after Guardians 3, but he plans on it. But there were rumors that he was going to, jump ship to DC permanently after the Suicide Squad. He would do Suicide Squad 2, do Guardians 3, and then come back to DC. There were other rumors saying that he would stay at Marvel. Because, James Gunn was a very strong Marvel guy before he was supposedly fired for some comments he made, like on Twitter and elsewhere, that were unsavory. But, there's people wondering, was he really fired by Marvel and Disney? Or, were they acting like he was fired for, political reasons? Who knows? But at least as of his Instagram Live Q&A, he's saying he's not going to be back at Marvel after Guardians 3. But he also didn't say that he had no movie planned for DC or anyone after the Suicide Squad, right? So he said he doesn't like to, plan all these movies several years in advance. Basically, he doesn't know what his plans are going to be. They could change. So he could be telling the truth, but I wouldn't be surprised if he knows exactly what he's going to be doing after Guardians 3 and Suicide Squad 2. He's just being, coy with us about it. He doesn't want to, reveal anything because it's hush-hush until the time is right. That's just me. I could be totally wrong. He could be totally sincere and honest. But, you know how those Hollywood people are with these big franchises. There's stuff that, has to be quiet until the right time a lot of times. He also said he doesn't know anything about the Snyder Cut coming to HBO Max. I think someone asked him, do you know, or what are you hearing about the Snyder Cut's HBO Max release? That's what people are hearing is going to happen. That's what a lot of us believe. There's been no confirmation, but he said, not that he knows of. So, as far as he knows, that's not happening. Now, that doesn't mean it's not necessarily going to happen. It just means he doesn't know anything about it. And, why would James Gunn know about the Snyder Cut? I mean, he has nothing to do with, Justice League or DC until now. That wasn't his baby. It wasn't his project. So, it's not like Warner Brothers or HBO would tell him. Granted, because he's a part of the, the genre superhero movie director community, it's possible he may have heard some things, but, he hasn't heard anything about this, he says. So I don't know. I know a lot of us want the Snyder Cut to come to HBO Max, but will it? Who knows? But James Gunn's saying he doesn't know either. Someone asked him if childhood trauma was something came up with how a lot of times he likes to use adult characters dealing with childhood trauma that comes through in his movies. It came through with his Guardians movies. And he said, that's not always, what he intends to do with his characters. but it's something that just works its way into a lot of his stories, whether he wants to or not. I guess that's something that James Gunn, that's his kind of storytelling style. You know, it's adults dealing with childhood trauma. And that's something that might find its way into the Suicide Squad, as it did in Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Will Suicide Squad, his Suicide Squad, be rated R? He just says wait and see. So that's a very non-committal, non-answer. We'll see. I mean, I think given the subject matter, you know, people who probably many of whom are going to get killed in battle in very gruesome or graphic ways. I don't know how much of that they're going to show, but there could be a lot of death in this Suicide Squad movie. I could see how it could logically be rated R. However, I don't know if I would make it rated R just to make it rated R, because that might limit its audience unnecessarily. That's what I think one of the things that hurt Birds of Prey. I think Birds of Prey, if it had been PG-13, more people would have seen it. It would have made more money in theaters. So, you know, I think that my personal opinion is I think that the Suicide Squad could still be just as hard-hitting or whatever an adult with a PG-13 rating. They just would have to not be... They don't have to show, you know, the people's heads being blown off. They can just have it happen off screen and still be able to tell the same kind of story. So I don't think that they need to make Suicide Squad rated R if they don't have to. You know, why limit your audience unnecessarily? Granted, the first Deadpool was rated R. That made a truckload of money, but I don't know. They shouldn't guarantee that this is going to be another Deadpool-like success. I'd err on more of the safe side. But that's just me. Someone asked him, when does the Suicide Squad take place? Does it take place after Birds of Prey? And he gave this answer that the Suicide Squad takes place the year it comes out. So if you were to take him literally, I guess the Suicide Squad takes place in 2021, which would be after Birds of Prey and after the first Suicide Squad. If you're taking his answer literally, you know, the Suicide Squad is supposed to come out in 2021. He says it takes place the year it comes out, which I guess would mean 2021. But he could be, you know, kind of being tongue-in-cheek or, you know, playing with people. That could be a trick answer, who knows. But if you take him literally, this would be the latest in a series of movies. He says Margot Robbie is his hero. As you probably know, Margot Robbie plays Harley Quinn. And he gushes about her multiple times in responses to multiple questions. I think like 2 or 3 questions he talks about how Margot Robbie's his hero and how he likes her a lot. I would take that to mean that Harley Quinn, surprise, surprise, is going to have a big presence in this movie. No guarantee there. I mean, it could be she doesn't have much more screen time than other people, but I would bet money she'll be at least one of the main characters of this movie, because Harley Quinn is a major DC character, a very popular DC character, and Margot Robbie is a very, you know, A-list actress. So that's what I took from that. I mean, he probably, you know, all that other stuff, you know, great that he likes Margot Robbie. I think Margot Robbie's a great actress and she seems like a cool person. So I'm cool with that. He also gushed about or said positive things about Storm Reed and Steve Agee, who are playing as yet unrevealed characters. We don't know who Storm Reed is playing. But Steve Agee, I'm not sure how to say his last name. He was rumored or thought to be King Shark, but it's possible he might be someone else. He said Storm Reed was basically like a powerful actress or something and a kind person. And he said Steve Agee was very funny. Like the funniest person he knew or something like that. So good. I mean, it's great that he likes the actors he's working with. I can't wait to see what he does with all of them. Hopefully it'll all be good for every character in the movie. And someone else also asked him, do people have to have seen the first Suicide Squad, David Ayer's Suicide Squad, to understand what's going to happen in James Gunn's Suicide Squad? The 2016 Suicide Squad, do you have to have seen that to really appreciate and understand the 2021 Suicide Squad that's coming? And James Gunn said, no, you don't have to have seen the first Suicide Squad. That's very interesting because it's been reported before that he actually has talked to David Ayer, though. I assume to compare notes and character consistency before he started making or while he was making his own Suicide Squad movie. So what that makes me think is that the first Suicide Squad movie will be in continuity with this one, but this one is going to be its own thing where you don't need to have seen the other one. I don't know if that means they won't even reference what happened in the first Suicide Squad at all, but, you know, you'll be able to jump right into this one and start fresh. The same way, you know, there's some comic book runs, right? And you can just, there's a certain storyline where you can start the comic book with that storyline without having had to read, you know, issue number 1 of the comic book if you don't want to. That's me, you know, kind of maybe clumsily trying to make a comparison between the relationship between the Suicide Squad movies and, you know, comic book runs, issues within comic book runs. But, you know, all good stuff. I mean, I've seen enough James Gunn movies to have confidence that he'll do a great job with the Suicide Squad. I think he's a good writer and director, and I also think that he likes and cares about comic book characters. He actually reads or used to read comic books. He's not someone who thinks he's too good for comic book stuff or doesn't know anything about comic books. I think he knows a lot about comic book characters, and this movie's in good hands with someone who actually likes and cares about this material. So yeah, I cannot wait. I can't wait for the 2021 DC movies. Suicide Squad, Batman, and Black Adam, right? Those are all supposed to come out next year. Bring them on. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like it on YouTube and subscribe to the channel because I appreciate your viewership, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.